Welcome, students. We are beginning this fish sculpture project, and we are going to make a fish sculpture. Now this is a real fish, kind of resembles a real fish. That's an option. Or a more whimsical fish is an option as well. I would like to see you avoid any sort of cartoon characters that you're familiar with that live in the sea, or any other project like that. I'd like you to be original artists and come up with your own design, okay? So here's one that's more whimsical, cartoonish, but it is a design that is designed your own. Now, I am open to any kind of sea creature, real or imagined. Your first step is to look in your sketchbooks and kind of come up with a couple of ideas on the page that says design a sea creature, real or imagined. All right, so our first step though today, this is part one of this video, and we are going to create the base that the fish is held on. Okay, this is a plaster base, and we're going to basically quickly make it as a group today. Okay, and this is what that looks like. It's got a dowel in the center, and we're going to do that. Now your first step is you're going to get a yogurt cup like this and put the lid on it, and then we're going to actually cut off the top, or in this case the bottom. To do that, first, I do want you to put your name on the cup, okay? Put your name on the cup with a Sharpie, put the lid on, and then take off the bottom of it, all right? And to do that, just poke a hole in it and trim it off. The very next step, once that's there and that's all ready, Mrs. Davidson's gonna mix up the plaster. Now, plaster is a situation where it's once you mix it, you have to use it because it starts to harden up right away. So I will be making up a batch of plaster, and basically when that's all ready, I'm going to pour it into your cup, a little more than what I got there. That was just for example purposes. And then you're going to stick the stick down the center, hold it there. You can work with a partner if you need to, and then tape like this one is on all four sides there, ready to go, okay? And that's going to take about 20 minutes to set up, okay? So once you've got your full cup of plaster, stick the dowel in the center and use the tape to tape it in place. So that's gonna go right there. Little tape, just tape it down. Put one on two sides that way. Sometimes if it's starting to set up already, it will stay put, okay? One there and one there. 4 in a row there, and that'll stay. I don't have very much plaster in there as an example, but you get the idea. Okay, now we got to this point here. Now I'm going to be letting these sit for a couple of days so that that plaster becomes rock hard. It is a little bit soft at first, and so it takes a day or two to be rock hard. So what I'm going to do once it is to that point, I'm going to take off the plastic lid, save this for Mrs. Davidson, the lid, because you know I use those. Those are pretty handy. Now we are going to destroy the yogurt cup. It's going to be cut off of here. Okay, so remove the tape. Now, we're going to be, with the real yogurt cup being removed, also removed is going to be your name. So take a pencil and write on the bottom that this one is yours. Okay, so yours doesn't get mixed up with someone else's. Someone breaks theirs and decides yours is theirs. You know how that goes. Okay, so this next step, give it a little bit of a snip with the scissors, and you basically just have to pry it off there. It is a little tricky, but sometimes just getting a little bit of a snip like that will allow it to come right off there. Okay, so there we go. Let that set up. It still might, like in this case, a little moist. We just made these today. Now in some cases this is going to dry out, and actually like this one, the stick is a little loose. It just happens that when it's wet, the wood expands, and now that it's dry, it shrunk back again. So it's a little bit loose. Put a little glue right in here When we get ready to make the fish, put a little glue in there, stick that back in there, and it should be fine. If for some reason, like this one, it's going all the way through, you could also just put a little piece of tape down there or something to hold that closed so that it stays put. So that's part one. Next part is going to be talking about how to paper mache and make the fish.